Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever part of the day you are. We are very happy to begin our online education program with the first HRM course on performance management. This course has already been run and experimented. And as you know, performance management, if you ask me, is the core of all human resource management systems. Performance management deals with all that you do during your entire tenure in a particular company. It particularly deals with how you plan your work, clarify your work, manage your work, and also evaluate your work and make an impression about your work in the organization. It is a powerful business management tool for improving performance. And nowadays, all organizations are concerned about continuously improving the performance of individuals, performance of dyads, performance of teams, and the entire kind of an organization. We also see performance management system as a tool to enhance role clarity, align individual work with organizational objectives or team objectives, ensure accountability, and also help people to be effective, teams to be effective, and organizations to be effective. Such an important tool like performance management system has unfortunately been dealt with not appropriately in the last 50 years. We wasted a lot of our time over-focusing on appraisals, ratings, and trying to achieve this difficult objective of bringing objectivity in appraisals. Out of 40 to 50 years of experience, we have concluded that in managerial performance, when you appraise managerial performance, it is extremely difficult to get anything like objectivity. You can improve objectivity, but you can't eliminate subjectivity because no two SSRs are equal. No two SSCs are equal, and it is very difficult to bring scales that can uniformly measure the impact of people who work in personnel department with those who work in finance department, with those who work in R&D department, with those who work in sales and so on. Some of the jobs are easily observable and quantifiable, and some of the jobs are not so easily observable and not so easily quantifiable. And in reducing the entire year's work of an individual to a number and comparing the number of the personnel department with finance department, with the R&D department, with marketing and sales department and services department, we are trying to do the impossible. I think we should treat everyone with respect and treat performance with respect. And whenever people perform, we should be able to communicate to them they have done a good job. That is, I think, the best principle of performance management. There is a lot of theory that we have covered in the last few years, and we have a lot of wisdom on performance management available. This course is intended to share with you the wisdom that we have in the form of conceptual inputs. We'll also give you in this course quite a bit of application-oriented perspective of performance management systems. This course will help you to understand the multiple objectives of performance management systems and how systems can be made simple or complicated with combination of different kind of components. And I think you can make choices when you know how systems can be simplified or complicated and so on. So this course aims at helping you to understand this. This course also will enable you to conduct performance analysis, analyze the performance of people, and conduct performance review discussions for performance improvements. You will, at the end of the course, appreciate the subjectivity involved in appraisal ratings and use appraisals more effectively for improvements through analysis and development plans. We have outlined in this course 14 different sessions. This session outline is presented here in this particular slide. We start with an overview of PMS and go on to multiple objectives of PMS and also talk of what are all the components that are there achieve these objectives. We'll also talk of an interesting performance equation and how to use this equation for improving performance. And after we talked of the equation, then we'll go on to analyze the analysis of performance after a person has performed. We'll understand how to analyze into facilitating factors and preventing or inhibiting factors, and use the analysis for development plans. And we go on to the very interesting chapter on our very interesting session on planning of performance through KRAs or KPAs, activities, tasks, targets, KPIs, and so on. All these things will be discussed in this particular course and help you to plan your own performance. Then we go on, in order to improve performance, you need to learn from your own experience of performing. And learning takes place when you seek the help of your juniors for insights and support they require, and your seniors for their insights and observations on the way you have worked and so on. This requires each one of us to be involved in periodic review discussions, which we call as performance review discussions. In the past, this used to be called as performance coaching and also performance counseling. Now we use a neutral term called performance review discussion. And most recently, people are also talking of performance conversations. Performance review discussion is a lot more planned, whereas performance conversations can take place with a little less of planning and so on. So you will go through in session 8 performance review discussion and performance conversations. And we talk of the principles of giving and receiving feedback, the art and science of feedback. We will, after we talk of performance review discussion, normally PMS ends with some kind of ratings. Although we have been maintaining consistently, ratings are not the primary purpose of performance management. You cannot avoid totally some form of assessment and evaluation. There are, of course, very tricky areas when it comes to using this evaluation into a forced distribution and so on. So we're going to discuss both the subjectivity involved in performance ratings and how they should be linked or should not be linked with performance incentives, and the problems created by performance ratings, organizing them into forced distribution or normal probability curves and so on. So we have about these 3 sessions, and at the end we'll be concluding with using the PMS for preparing development plans, because we say PMS is for performance improvement, and also on how do you design and implement performance management systems and so on. So these are the 14 sessions, and I expect each session would require not merely listening to the session, which itself may take about an hour, around an hour, but after you listen, you may have to reflect about this and revisit the some of the talk, and also read, if possible, some of the books that we keep suggesting from time to time. Those of you who have intended to go through certification, there are a number of assignments that you are required to complete, and these are the home assignments. We expect you to complete these assignments. You can send the assignments all at one time, or as you keep completing, you can send them to us. But we will only evaluate for those who are going to be certified at the time of actually certification. We will not be giving you feedback as and when we receive the assignments. We are more geared towards assessing at the end of it for certification. Certification, therefore, is by assessment. We can be contacted by candidates who are wishing to develop further skills. We will be running skill-based program for those who are interested. This is not online. This is something for which you will have to visit TVRLS and so on. I'm giving you a sample of the assignments for those of you who are going for certification. For example, after session 2, you will be examining the objectives of your own company's performance management system. Write a critical analysis of it and send it to us. After session 5, you will conduct a performance analysis of your own performance for the last quarter. After session 6, you will plan your own performance using the KPAs, activities, and the other kind of a framework that is given in the session inputs. And after session 9, you will be required to conduct a PRD for any employee of your organization or anybody else who, if you can't find anyone in your organization, you can catch up a student or a teacher and try to understand his or her role and then have a PRD with that particular person. At the end, you will evaluate the effectiveness of your own organization's PMS or pick up any other organization's PMS and send it to us. These are all meant for certification. We hope you will enjoy this particular course, and going through this, you will consider as a great fun and so on. So all the best, have a great time and enjoy yourself in this particular kind of a program.